Welcome to Building a Resilient and Sustainable Business. My name is Colber Prosper, and I am the CEO, founder, and senior consultant at Prosper Partners International Consulting Firm. I don't know if you got a chance to, but I did a video on avoiding common pitfalls. And I was looking at the video and looking at the content of that video. And in that video, I said, I'm very informal. And this is like me talking to you and you talking to me. And I was thinking about my energy from that video and just thinking about where I was mentally. And I've had some time to reflect about it. I think what doesn't get talked about is when somebody's idea dies, when somebody decides to be an entrepreneur and they decide not to because they lose it for whatever reason. And being in business for over 13 years, what doesn't get talked about is, from my experience, I see that there's a sparkle in people's eyes when they're starting their business. And to see that fade away is tough to watch. And as I was reflecting and putting together content and avoiding common pitfalls, that's where I was at. Like, and I don't think I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that because when you got your own business, you're just like grinding it out, going to the next thing, getting the next thing done. And then there's not enough hours in a day. But working on this really gave me some time to reflect on the people that I met who had the business and that left. And they left it left them, and that sparkle just went away for whatever reason. And sometimes a lot of it, you know, people making the best decisions for themselves, knowing when is when to say when. Um, I guess, I guess, just grieving over that loss, that sparkle. So that's what that was about, I believe. And I'm going to spend some more time reflecting, which we should all do when it comes to having a resilient and sustainable business. Enough about that. Let's get into the content. We can talk about all day what we need to do to be successful and to have a business that lasts over years to come. But we ain't got that type of time. You just getting started. I'm here to support you. I'm here to say you can do it. And if we need more time, we'll figure that out. So years ago, my dad and I was watching a movie, and in that movie, there was a young black male pushing and just really getting at it. And my dad was like talking to the TV screen, and me listening and watching the TV and my dad. And my dad says in the most encouraging voice, "Go, young man." And at this time, I was in college. I'm learning systems of oppression. I'm learning how our society's set up and all of that sort of stuff. And I told my dad, it ain't that hard. And I began to tell him, it ain't that easy. And I began to tell my dad all the things that people's going to have to face, right? And my dad's response was like, should I tell him to give up? And I was speechless. There wasn't much for me to say to that. And I feel like that's the energy to this. Um, Keep pushing. You got this. You're going to figure this out. The more you believe in yourself that you will figure it out, the longer you'll last in this game if you choose to last in this game. Working better together is our thing, is what we live by. We believe that life is too short for bad management. So how do we create teams where people feel like they are seen, people can show up as themselves and produce and create and innovate and achieve those goals and impact that your company and or organizations or communities want to create. We are a transformative team of do-gooders. There's 30 of us. Prosper Partners was established in 2020, in 2011. And We are an organizational consulting firm that help teams, organizations, communities, states, countries reach their strategic goals by facilitating an inclusive, collaborative, strategic process, and also providing professional development to upskill professionals so that way they can reach their goals. Today, I just did my introductions. I'm going to share a couple of sustainable principles. Again, this isn't everything. This is not an exhaustive list, but some things for you to be thinking about as you start your journey and continue your journey as being an entrepreneur slash business owner. First and foremost, you got this. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what you can do. You got to be ready to like surprise your own self. You feel me? You're going to figure this out. And that's what this is about. Figure this out. I took probably one business class, took 2 or 3 business classes. Got to give myself a little more credit than that. But most of it is me figuring this thing out. And that's what it comes down to. You got this. Trust me. So some of the sustainable principles, your why. And then what does that look like? What's your own resilience look like? Invest in yourself, customer, client retention. That's where the money's at. And then pricing strategies. How do we get people in and keep them in? What's your why? Why are you in this? My purpose is to dismantle systems of oppression. People can't reach their full potential because they're being oppressed. And so I believe my purpose is, how do I dismantle those systems? And then how do I dismantle those systems so people can reach their full potential? And that Prosper and Partners is a management consulting firm that helps people and teams work better together, restructure work itself so that people can reach their full potential. That is how my business helps my purpose. And all of that, because that's my why, I'm gonna keep pushing. It's a big why. It's gonna take a lot of time. But because that is my why, not doing my business means I am hurting my own purpose. So figure out your why and figure out why your business helps or sustains your why. And then care for your entire being. Like, if you can't, I've done therapy for years. And now it's one of those things that I do to check in. And the value in knowing how to take care of myself, knowing when to employ coping mechanisms when things get tough, it's invaluable. So take care of your health, take care of your emotions, your well-being, your spirit, your entire being. Take care of yourself, because this is a marathon. Like, people who get rich really quickly when they started a business, that's the minority. Majority of us, we've got to push it. So it's a marathon. Pace yourself, take care of yourself, celebrate yourself. In that, invest in yourself. I think one of the mistakes that I made is that I was so into the business that I didn't take time to invest in myself, like upskill myself. And that impacts the business. Your industry, your profession is changing. So you gotta stay up with it. So learn about what's happening. You gotta stay in front of it. So that way, of course, you can be sustainable. If you know what's coming, you can prepare for it. Now, you gotta hone your skills. One is your profession, and 2, as a business owner. 2 different sets of skills. But when I was during a pandemic, I realized that my business skills wasn't where they need to be in order for us to get out of the pandemic and be successful. And so I ended up getting a coach, a business coach, Mr. Earl Coleman, and I was able to increase my business acumen so that my business can make it through the pandemic and for us to move forward in all of the turbulence that's happening in the world. So develop your professional skills. That's always going to be needed because you got to be able to deliver whatever your product is and or service, and to invest and hone in your business skills. Something that I continue to struggle with, and because of time and all the things that you got to get done, you got to give yourself time to think and reflect. When I'm able to do that, I'm able to solve problems. I'm able to make connections. I'm able to reach out to people that I need help from. So give yourself time to reflect. Whether it's every morning or every other morning, and after a project or after a big sale, like figure out what you did well, what you need to improve. I ain't gonna hold you. I can talk about this stuff all day, but invest in yourself. It's critical. Customer and client retention. One-offs, they pay a bill or two. When you got clients coming or customers coming back and back, that's a mortgage payment. that's a down payment, you know? So the comeback is where the money's at. And that's what often I tell entrepreneurs and other businesses. And because for us, that's true, we have a model called 2RC, relationship plus resources is our currency. Relationships over everything. So the relationships that we create with our other consultants and partners and our clients, that's more important. Any decision that we make, that is a principle for us. The relationship over everything. Even if we might lose a little money, the main thing is maintaining that relationship. Now, we have to put resources and time into those relationships. And once we put those resources and time in the relationships, it creates the currency that we need for people to come back. Stay connected. However you track and or maintain your clients or customers or prospects, stay connected. One, it maintains the relationship, and two, there's competitors. I mean, there's competition everywhere. So maintaining those relationships, you don't want somebody else to take somebody that a client that or a customer that you cultivated. So stay connected. Ask for feedback. Feedbacking, it don't feel sweet all the time, right? It don't feel good. So, but the feedback will make you better. And customers and clients that have been with you for a minute, they like to see your growth. They like to see your business grow and know that it grew because of them. So ask for feedback, spend time with your customers, your clients, or prospects. And something that we've been working on, especially after the pandemic, is pricing strategies. How do we give people different price points, and what services could we create in order to meet those different price points? And pricing strategies get new clients in for us because we're a service industry. We're in the service industry, but it also maintain our current clients and re-engages our past clients. So accommodate different levels of preferences. So whatever product or service that you're selling, try to create a tier system where, you know, this is the holy grail. This is the best of the best, top shelf. And also to like also to all the way down to what is the bare minimum that's going to help people in doing what you need them to do, and or they can buy. So provide those different levels and those different price points. Now, appeal to those with a tight budget. Companies, organizations, they may have a tight budget now, but it doesn't mean they're going to have a tight budget later. So appeal to people and organizations that have a tight budget. And that may be helping them split payments, prepayments, a la carte. So figuring out ways to get them engaged who got a tight budget. Also provide price breaks opportunities. So if people could pay at a certain time or a certain window, you give them a price break. If they give you referrals, they'll give you a price break. So giving people an opportunity to pay at a discounted rate, but that doesn't devalue your product and or service, but giving people the opportunity, like, you can get at this time, you can work at this time, and we'll be able to help you out. And that might be mixed bundling, again, a la carte, volume discounts. So if you buy this many, then you can get it at this price point. So some sustainable principles that will help. And these are things that we're doing and trying to improve and continue to improve on to maintain our sustainability. I mean, this is the last module. If you ain't already doing it, do it. Get out your head. Do it. You're gonna learn as you're doing it. You gotta embrace that. Remember the 3 beliefs. Believe in yourself. Find and allow others to believe in you, and find something to believe. I'm able to continue to move forward in my business because when I look back of how much I've grown and looking at the future, I'm like, whoa, what else can I become? My better version of me is waiting. You know what I mean? And I'm my better version of me last year. So that excites me. And I couldn't tell you how many people believe in me, believe in Prospering Partners, and the impact that we make. We had a client that just recommended us for a small business award because of the impact we made for them. You know what I mean? Like, that adds fuel to the fire, even when it's dwindling. And because I believe what I believe, because I know my why and my purpose, success is the only conclusion. Thank you